now tuned in to the Premier Hotspur TV. Sit back, get involved, comment away, because we are live.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Premier Hotspur TV. It's your man Simon, North of England's biggest Spurs fan. Yes, guys, we are back again with another match preview. This time round, it's the Aston Villa games tomorrow at 2:00 at the Amazon Bowl, the AJ Arena, what you want to call it. I don't know what it's called these days, but there you go. It's at this stadium, and joined tonight by my co-host once again, Matt. Matt, how's it going, pal?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just obviously wanted to say, massive shout out to everyone, on the podcast, everyone who wished me happy birthday. I had a lovely week, had a good time, and thank you for all the, kind messages. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. I'm sort of dreading it, but I'm sure we'll get into it.
Absolutely, Matty. Well, this is what we're on about, Matt. We took a beating against Palace, against Chelsea, and last week performance just topped it, mate. Seriously, and seeing that tonight, as we were just speaking about it, Matt, and it just before we went live, seeing that tonight, Brighton against Arsenal. There, Brighton should have been well out. They've been flipping well outside in the first half. That shows how bad we are, Matt. Yeah. You said it. That shows how bad we are. Arsenal were full of guns last week. Thinking they're back. Their defence is probably a top 4 defence and things like this. They've been slapped back down to earth this week. And it goes to prove again, Matt, that how good Graham Potter is getting. The noise getting louder.
He needs a goal scorer. That's all they need.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got some guys in the comments already. Got Richard from earlier. He left a nice comment. Looking forward to that. To that, Simon. Thanks, mate. Got C. Come on, you Spurs. Thanks for joining in. We've got Wayne Bonner. As always in it. Showing his support. Even in Wayne. Got Jake, the Liverpool fan. Yes, boys. Yes, got THFC away from Ireland. Come on, you Spurs. I didn't mean to say another problem, pal. Jake says, hope you had a good birthday, Matt.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Ricky,
well, it wasn't too
bad. Ricky William, THFC, say dreading it is the appropriate word. Thanks for coming in, Rick. Absolutely to see you again, mate. And C say we got battered by Pony Arsenal team, says it all. Rick says Nuno out, can't agree with that. Give him at least a season. Dietrich Kane says we have to play the same way that Villa and can't let them have the ball. Rick, listen, mate, that's your opinion. And on here, mate, we always let people have their own opinions and we always respect it, mate. But to me, personally, I always go back to the example is Chelsea last season. Gave Frank Lampard 236 million to spend on players in the summer, and I'm not too sure, Matt, around the time October, November time, December time, I'm not too sure when he did, and they sacked him. It wasn't going well. Boom, they chopped him. They could even gave him the rest of the season with the money they spent on him. But no, they acted as a big club. They knew something weren't going right. They knew the players weren't playing for him. Bang, got Thomas Tuchel in, and the rest was history. I always use that as an example, guys. You know what I mean? And we can say give him a season like that, but how many more we got to go through? 3-0 against Palace, 3-0 against Chelsea, 3-1 against Arsenal. We can't just keep blaming these players. I'm not the same players. I'm not the blame. We can't keep blaming them, Matt, can we? The manager has to take the brunt for this.
I was obviously there, the other night. I watched him first hands behind the goal. It was a good, it was a good game the other night. But it took 3 of our best players to come on. Why did we have to bring on our big hitters when we're playing a team I've never even bloody heard of, and they were only founded 9 years ago? That, for me, tells me there's worrying signs ahead.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
For the first 10 minutes of that second half, they were all over us. There is something wrong, whatever he says at half time, and I watch him on the touchline. There's no animation. I even watched him in the pre-match build-up. I don't know if you saw it on BT Sport. I think it was the presenter was Jeff Brazier.
Yeah, and he's very rude.
Tottenham fan. He was really rude, and if Mourinho does that, I guarantee we're getting a lot of people going, "Oh, Jose's a mood." Yeah, he's just another one. I think for me, he's a Jose light. That's how I call him. It's like Jose's the Coke and he's the Coke Zero. I don't know. It's worrying, mate. And
it is worrying. It is worrying, mate.
I saw enough, and I thought it was embarrassing that we had to,
This is what I'm saying, Matt. This is what I'm saying. This team was formed, like as you said, about 8-9 years ago, and it was a complete embarrassment. I mean, 2-1, and Nuno knew in his head on that sideline.
He was under pressure.
He knew that he was under pressure. He knew that second goal for them was going to come if he did not change it, and he had to bring on the big boys. The big boys. This team is 5th in the Slovenian league. 5th. They're not in top of their league. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. Come on, people. He's out of his depth at his football club. Depth.
We don't hate the man. It's just, I think it's just, he's not used to this. He can't handle a big club, I don't think.
And people say, give him a season. We could be relegated, guys.
Yeah, I think
we could be relegated. We could be in trouble if we keep this up and keep this man in charge, right? Because I don't believe that this Daniel Levy co is going to back and buy players in January, right? So seriously, we could be seriously in trouble if we keep with Nuno for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? I want the best for Tottenham. This is why I am not seeing no change from Jose Mourinho days. I am not seeing no change. Now, anyone tell me we're seeing any change? Tell me, anyone in that comments tonight, tell me what change are you seeing?
Yeah.
Against Man City, okay, we saw the intensity. But after that, we got bashed against Wolves.
Yeah.
I keep repeating myself. Watford, we got lucky. Palace, we got slapped. Chelsea, we got slapped. Arsenal, we got slapped.
But I mean, even arguably against Man City, they still dominated the ball, and we only had 2 shots on target. So it's not like we battered them. They just didn't have their shooting boots on. They haven't had that for the last couple of games. So I think we got lucky against Wolves, lucky against City, and lucky against Watford. I think if Watford went for it a bit more, I think we would have been in trouble. I can't defend the bloke. I haven't seen any of our new signings. What's the point in signing a Ramiro? I know he's had his problem, but how do I've watched Brighton today, and I've watched their left back Cucurella. He's from the Spanish league. He's come in and absolutely torn it up. How comes he can adapt straight away? Oh, because he plays and he gets used to the team. What the hell is going on? I think fans need to wake up a bit and go, try and. I was, we weren't in agreement at first, but I've had my eyes, wide open. I've had enough. I've seen too many. The Arsenal one was enough for me. I've watched Brighton tonight show more passion. That's the passion we should have shown in the North London derby. They were getting yellow cards. They were pressing the ball. They were hunting them down. They're an average team at best.
And Matt, it makes me laugh, Matt, as well, because you make some real good valid comments there, mate. Seriously, what made me laugh as well, right? Because guys, we are just doing a reaction quickly to the game on Thursday before we get into the Villa game, guys. What made me laugh when people overhyped Lo Celso for that Thursday game, playing part-time players. They're farmers or whatever they are. They are part-timers. You know what I mean? And they overhype Lo Celso. Whoa, he's fan. I don't see this in the Premier League. I don't see this from him in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So please, guys, come on. Absolutely. We've got Napan. How's it going, my friend? The Chelsea fan. Chelsea back to winning ways, Napan. Big up everyone. Didrik says a nice cut, Matt. We sacked him in January. Okay, Lampard got sacked in January. There you go. Ricky said, "Who are we going to get in? 79 days and no one wanted to come. We ain't Chelsea, but we got to start acting as a big club, Rick. As I'm saying, mate. Your comments are valid. Your comments are we appreciate it. I mean, it's your opinion, but mate, seriously, we've got to start acting like a club like Chelsea.
I saw
you know
a
what I
bit
mean?
more.
We've got this best stadium people put out speed, the best facilities and things like that, and we're acting like a fucking club, like fucking Watford or something. Do you know what I mean? It's pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. Jake says, does Thursday night not concern you that you need some game? Absolutely.
I've literally just covered it.
Jake. We just said this. Absolutely. It does. It's a massive concern. And Matt just put it right there. It was a massive concern. 2-1 down. And Nuno knew if he ain't changing it and they kick back into this game, he could have been sacked that night. Trust me. Because I'm telling you now, Daniel Levy, right, is definitely on the lookout for another manager. Don't get me wrong there.
I already read it today. He said if Poch is available, he's going for him. It's already been pretty much. So he's on the lookout.
Of course he is. Mate.
Why he only gave him a 2-year contract? That was weird in itself.
Exactly. So basically, I just put up before we get to this Villa preview, Matt. Thursday, mate. I can't take that game serious, mate. I can't take.
Yeah, it was good being there, and obviously it was a lovely demo.
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on, mate. You was there. Go on, let everyone tell everyone know.
Yeah, it was a great first half. I thought the first 20 minutes we looked really bright and good on the ball. Even Winks looked, pretty good, but I knew they were a bad kind of opposition. Don't know what happened really the second half. Obviously they got their goal, and I think we just fold and panic and crumble under pressure. Something we didn't have under Poch. We got a bit more of a harder egg to crack, if you know what I mean. It's just every time a little bit of pressure, we just fold and just the egg cracks completely. The yolk comes out, and but we brought the big guns on. The only positive I can think of is obviously Kane got his hat trick. I think that'll do him the world of good, just getting some goals into the system. But it just shows you if you give this guy chances, he's going to put them in. I don't think maybe work rate, he has been a bit iffy, but so has the whole team. And maybe he's thinking, oh, fuck this, I'm not running if you lot aren't even, and he's dropping deep to try and get the ball, to try and get others into the game. And when we're not creating anything and not even having shots, what's he supposed to do? And then I watched, him come on and come to life the other night, and I think hopefully that hat trick will, if he gets a chance, maybe tomorrow, I reckon he'll put one in. But whether it will be enough, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it was a good game. I didn't pay for it. It was free. It was a birthday present from my brother, and he took his son who was 7, so it was his first European night. So we had a good night, and
absolutely,
But you can't take these games too seriously. But they are kind of cheap to go to, and a bit of a laugh if you just want to have a catch up with friends and family. That's the way I see it, because I'm not paying 80.
That's what it comes to, Matt, isn't it? That's what it comes to. Well,
I'm not paying 80 quid for a ticket in the Premier League, not over watching that football.
No, absolutely. So basically, my roundup on that game, guys, I couldn't take it seriously. Seriously, at 2-1, I could see alarm bells. Seriously, they were coming. That second goal was coming. You know what I mean? And he knew.
The stadium
he had to change it.
It went completely flat. Everyone was just like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. And just go to show what a massive mess we're in. Seriously. If we got to bring on our big guns to beat a side that's 5th in their own league in Slovenia. 5th. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Absolutely donkeys. We've got the CSA relegation form, mate, were much worse than under Jose. There's nothing changed. There's nothing changed, mate. Seriously, I can't say we're any worse. I just don't think it's the same shit we're seeing. It's no different. And all this flipping when Nuno says, I'm going to make Spurs fans happy again, I'm going to play the attacking football, I'm going to do this and that. Bollocks. Absolute fucking bollocks. That was word for word. He's read on the sheet from Daniel Levy. You know what I mean to say?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Absolute script. Absolute. We fucking fell for it. Well, I didn't, because I didn't. As soon as I knew Nuno, I said I don't like the look of this appointment. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I just don't think he's a top 6 manager. I don't think he's a manager.
I think people were just finally relieved we got a manager, because it was a bit of a circus. Let's be honest. I think people were just. I think if it would have happened after a couple of weeks rather than the 70 or 80 days it took, I think there would have been a lot more uproar. I mean, we all had our own ones. We wanted Conte. I wanted Potter. I think that they were the sort of managers we wanted, and now we've ended up with a bit of a disaster, really, and I don't think it's going to end well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple more comments. We've got Paul. Evening, lads. I really hope we get a better performance tomorrow. I've got my, is that cardiologist?
Yeah, cardiologist, heart.
On speed.
I'm not even going to get. I don't even get that bothered anymore, mate. I've got to be honest. I just sort of. I mean, it can't get much worse.
He can't set up. He can't set up a team up properly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%, couldn't agree more.
No style of play. I can't see nothing. Seriously, even
no style of play. Jamie Carragher ripped our midfield to shreds.
Even was it against Arsenal or against that?
Oh,
one of games.
I mean,
he was talking to. Look at that. He was like trying to tell him what the flipping do.
Well, you looked at Sanchez when the kickoff happened in North London derby. He weren't even fucking ready. He was tying his laces. I mean, the attitude was just wrong.
Go back to Arsenal game quickly, Matt. Right, and I was watching Tapping Toes and Henry and Fuad on theirs, and that was a fantastic. I always love their shows on there. And Fuad's spot on, absolutely spot on. What he said, right? He said, "Don't come with me with that fist pumps when we got a goal back from Son." He said, "Where was that from the start?" Exactly, 100% right. Where's that from the start? Don't come to me in 82 minutes with that flipping fist pump. You got a goal back. Do you know what I mean? That's absolutely spot on. Rick says, so who then, Simon? Who will come? Seriously, Ricky, someone will take this job, right? I know what a mess we're in a minute. It is a mess, but someone will come. Potter, if you go to Potter, I don't care. You go back to Potter, right?
Oh, he's turned us down, mate. He's not having that. He won't work with Levy. He's already said it. He said he doesn't. That's the problem. You're going to have people who don't trust our ball because it's another manager they've got. Oh, they don't back them properly. But
mate, I know what an absolute mess we're in at the minute, right? I think media absolutely twist some of these stories, Matt. And some of these fans believe these stories, Matt. I don't believe 100% of these stories.
I think we could get Brendan Rodgers. I think we could get him.
Right.
I think he's under pressure at Leicester.
Yeah. But Leicester ain't playing great at the minute, are they? They're all over the shop, Matt.
But we know Brendan Rodgers can. You know what he can do. He's better than Nuno. Let's be honest.
Yo, 100%.
You know.
To me, Matt, you're going to say he's not going to come. We're not going to get him. All right. He's my number one target all along. You know what I mean? Antonio Conte. He still ain't got a job. Go and fucking give what he wants. He was desperately interested. Yeah. We know he was interested in this job.
I think he'll go United now.
But yes, okay, he may end up there, but go and fucking get him. Go and talk to him again. Say, listen, right, we fucked up first time. What do you want? What fucking we're going to have it? Act as a fucking big club. You know what I mean? Stop acting like a fucking small club. You know what I mean? Absolute bollocks. You know what I mean? C says doesn't have a clue, geezer. He doesn't. Absolutely. We've got Paul. I don't think Nuno is the man for the job anymore. No passion on the touchline. He's too nicey. The players need a Conte type manager to give them a kick up. Absolutely. But I know what Matt's saying. I mean, it's hard to look at Conte. Is he going to come? I mean, He didn't come first time round.
Unless you throw the money at him,
Yeah,
which they're not going to do.
what.
So,
But Matt, these kind of managers you need, mate. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, we've got great youngsters coming through. That's good for the future. Let's give him now.
why don't we fucking
win
see him then?
trophy.
If they're for the future, why don't we see him? Why haven't I seen the Dylan Markande? 5 goals, 4 assists this season. He's got to be better than fucking Ndombele or Lo Celso or someone who's.
I just think at this present moment, I don't want to ruin these players at the minute. I think we need to go down to. We need to go down
the road and they're playing Emil Smith Rowe. He's fucking quality.
Yes, right. But they're in a transition. I mean, they're going through that fucking bollocks. I mean, because even their fans are not happy with them.
I think we are.
Their fans are not fucking happy with Mikhail. I mean, so I believe that we need someone to come in, right? Win trophies now. Buy for now. Then further down the line, Matt, bring in like a Potter to bring through these youngsters and things like that. I think it'll work that way, Matt. I think it'll work because we'll keep going down this fucking line of flipping trust the process fucking crap. Fucking going to bring these youngsters in. We're going to be like this fucking year in, year out if we don't start acting as a big club. So, Paul, thanks for your comment there, mate. C says, make me laugh. People say, who will we get in? If we were 19th in March, they'll still be saying the same thing. Absolutely.
He won't last that long if we're not. If we even get near the relegation.
That's what I'm trying to say, Sue. These are what I'm saying. Rick, I'm not saying it's fans like you, mate. I'm saying there is fans out there. I mean, give them to the end of the season, give them to. But you won't be saying that, right? Tottenham won't get relegated. But we don't know, do we? Never fucking say never. Never fucking say never. You know what I mean? And what would you say then if Nuno, the rest of the season, and the flipping Nuno's took us into the Championship? What would you say? I mean,
we're fucked.
What would you say?
We are absolutely fucked if we end up there.
Why would Pop come back? Levy never backed him. Yeah, Matt.
He's already said he'd come back in the future. I think he would be stupid enough to come back. I think he thinks there's unfinished business. I'm not sure if quite. I know he's trying to click at PSG, but I don't think their fans like him. I think they all want Zidane. But I mean, they look good. They look good the other night. They look like a complete team to me. I know they threw money at it, but he's got them. He's got that. They've got that Pochettino sort of DNA in them. The way they run with their fullbacks forward, and the midfield works really hard. Yeah, just tough times. I think
if Nuno gets an L tomorrow, do you think Levy will fire him? Well, I'll get onto that. That's one of the questions further down into this show.
Okay.
I will get onto that. Jake says, being realistic with you guys, knowing what Levy is like and his actions, what would make him sack Nuno? Will it be a certain amount of losses, a performance which makes him sack Nuno? Let me just give you an answer quickly, Jake, to that, mate. Any loss tomorrow, or a draw. He has to win tomorrow. He has to win. It's a win-win. He's got to win. It's no draw, no loss, because he's got to think this international break for 2 weeks. Yeah, and the media will get fucking into that, day in, day out. Nuno's under pressure. And in the end, Levy will cave in, and I think he'll sack him over the international break. So he has to. If he wants to survive for 1 more week, or up to the next game, which is Newcastle away, has to win tomorrow. It has to. I think this is the pay as you go now, Matt. I think this is game by game with Nuno. I really do. What's Matt? You just have your little say on that, mate. What Jake said there, mate.
Like I say, I think if he loses, I think I'm in agreement with Simon. I think the fans would have had enough. I think Levy would listen, to be honest. I think Levy may even listen if he sees a half-empty stadium tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he may realise he's fucked it again. Or he's going to blame, Paratici, whoever's fault it is, They both agreed in the end. If Levy really didn't want Nuno, then he should have put his foot down and said, no, it's not the manager we wanted. We want an attacking style of football manager. You're going to have to I'd rather have waited a bit longer if we get the manager we want a Tottenham manager rather than another Jose.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's going to survive. Personally, I just think I don't know. I don't know how we beat Villa tomorrow. I really don't, because I just think they're better. That's the problem. If you can't get up for a North London derby and you're getting spanked 3-0 3 games in a row, what makes people think that we're going to see a reaction? I thought we'd see a reaction after the Chelsea game, but it was worse.
Absolutely.
So what's to say tomorrow's not going to be worse? Because I haven't seen anything to suggest any pattern of play, any confidence. We've scored 2 less goals than Norwich, for fuck's sake. That's relegation form. If anyone just wants, it's not good enough.
4 goals, Matt.
Not when you got players like Bergwijn, Moura, Kane, Son, Ndombele, Lo Celso. There's enough players there to score goals. Something's something's going on there. And he doesn't adapt. It never changes from a 4-3-3. He hasn't tried anything different. I'd understand if if we lost, 3-0 to Chelsea, but he kind of went for it a bit more and maybe tried to, or even Arsenal, but he changed the formation or tried 3 at the back or brought some new signings in. If I'm seeing some form of progression and we lose and we're going for it and I'm happy with the football, then I can take that. But if I'm seeing fuck all on the pitch and no passion, I can't have that. There's a way of losing. Yeah. I don't mind losing. There's a way of losing as a Tottenham fan. I mean, we're used to losing, but we're used to losing or winning in a certain way. And I'm not seeing it at this moment in time. So that's my answer.
Brilliant answer there, Matt. Brilliant answer. And listen, Levy and co. Seriously, we're not letting you fucking off the hook here. You know what I mean? You can't be keeping bringing manager after manager, keep sacking them, not backing them. You've got to start fucking backing these managers, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Back Pochettino when he needed it, when we were close to that league. You know what I mean? You failed. You know what I mean? Jose Mourinho, he wanted Diaz and Bruno Fernandes, failed. Bring in Nuno, sacks him as Jose. I mean, defensive-minded coach. You know what I mean? Knowing we want to play that attacking football.
He asked for Traore or Ruben Neves. That's what he asked for those last couple of days.
This is what I'm saying.
And you got him a defender.
I'm not just saying it's purely the manager's fault.
No, I mean, Paratici has to take.
Paratici's got to take some different thing in it. But Daniel, the buck stops with Daniel Levy and co. Because Daniel Levy owns 20% of this club, right? So he's going nowhere at the minute, right? Enoch owns Tavistock's Group, 76% of this club. You know what I mean, right? It's so hard to get rid of it. All right, it's great.
It's going to take 3.5 billion, isn't it? 3.5 billion.
You've got to take that first step. I mean, to get where you want to get, Matt. With his, it's great for these fans who are trying to make a difference. I mean,
I just hope it's a good protest tomorrow, and not a one where people are starting chanting Musa fucking Sissoko and singing songs. It's not about that. Yeah. We need to make a stand.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. Cotton Dog says it would be great to have Poch back, but who leaves Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe and go with William manage Doherty? William, Dele and Winks.
Yeah, but I think if he was to come back, he'd say, "I want these players shipped." He knows what to expect this time around, and he won't let Levy fuck him over again. I guarantee. And I think Levy will go, "Fucking hell, we know what we had here, and we want you back, and we're gonna throw the fucking book at it." Because I think he will, if Poch did come back, because I think they had that relationship, and I think Levy thought, we'll be all right without him. And I think he's realising now, shit, we really are in trouble here. I should have backed him. I mean, he must have regrets. There must be something.
Yeah, I mean, and what I can say to that, yes, I understand what you're trying to say, but I think it's working out, Matt. It's hard to sell these players. No one wants them. And that is the problem at this club at the minute. No one wants these players. I'm sure, right? I know we can call Daniel Levy whatever we want, right? But come on, Daniel Levy, right? He just wants too much money for these players.
He fucking wants 40 million for Winks. He's worth about 10.
Absolutely.
You've got to take a cut.
That's what I'm saying.
There are
There's
people out there that will
absolutely,
buy those players. It's Levy fucking going, 45 million for Winks because he's fucking quality. Fucking shit. He can't even kick the ball. Delhi,
absolutely, mate.
fucking useless. I don't know what he does now. Doherty, he literally isn't even a Premier League right back. He's barely a Championship right back. He can't cross. He can't defend. He can't pass. It's just a
Absolutely.
joke.
Cotton says, I want Conte, but the word lasts 4 months. He won't last 4 months. Conte will be fine, magnificent. Magnificent. Ricky says Rodgers will be great, better than Nuno. Yeah, Rick. It'll be Rodgers. Fantastic. We was asking for Rodgers when we was looking for manager, Matt, and I think he's going for a bit of a purple spell at City, and it's not at Leicester. Sorry, and it's not going well at the minute. And people were saying that Leicester could sack Rodgers and bring in Potter. So they are looking at Potter apparently. So we'll have to watch that one. What goes on? Because at the minute Leicester are probably a better opportunity at the minute than Tottenham.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For Potter. So Derek says yes, Derek. Thanks for coming in, pal. No decent managers are coming to Spurs with Levy and Enoch running the club. I can see where you're coming from. I'm telling you now, there is someone who will want to run this club. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's just down to Daniel Levy and fucking Enoch. Need to change their ways. That's all it is. It's all it fucking is. Continental says that, and it's got to be said. He did leave Inter in financial ruin.
It's not his fault. That's the owners. They
Absolutely.
didn't balance the books. It's not. Conte just got a transfer budget and he went and spent it. It can't be his fault.
And he won Serie A.
He won a league.
title. Absolutely. So you guys will be happy, just a mediocre team plodding along mid-table, season after season, playing this dripping defensive football. I mean, what do you want? Usually says hello. Already, Nuno's leaving. If Liverpool and Man City draw tomorrow, hopefully, do you know who stays top of the Premier League? Was it Chelsea top at the minute?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a joke or a bit of a.
Oh, he's a Chelsea fan. Thanks for coming in, Yusuf. Rick says, "Oh, mate, being a fan for 40 years, seen it all before." Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen us play this bad. I've got to be honest.
Rick, I've been supporting for 33 years now, mate. And I've seen 3 league. I've seen 1 FA Cup and 2 league titles. Two League Cups, I think.
Is it
91, not 99, and 2008?
But is this the worst?
3 trophies in 33 years.
Is this the worst? Is this the worst you've seen us play, Simon, or was the 90s just as bad, or was it worse?
The 90s was bad, mate. Seriously.
But is it
This is on par, mate. This is on par. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It is definitely. I can't lie, mate. I really can't. And Jake says Nuno doesn't help himself in interviews, doesn't sound convincing in himself. Remember him saying after Arsenal, basically blaming the players for not suiting his gameplay. Absolutely. Fucking well said, mate, Matt. We need to get football people in to deal with the football stuff. Levy, just stick to property. I can see where you're coming from. Absolutely. I understand that.
I'd let him deal with events and things like that, and the stuff that, and I suppose just the finance, not the finance, the balancing of the, but just bring in someone football who's got that structure. I think it'll be interesting to see if the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, they've asked for a meeting, haven't they, with the board, but apparently they haven't come back to them yet. But apparently they're thinking about it. So I don't know, but they want answers. You know, we all want to know the plan going forward. What is our plan going into the next couple of years? What's our plan this season? What is it?
Absolutely, Matt.
I just want a bit of
Absolutely.
clarity.
CC's Doherty is the worst footballer I ever seen. Woeful. Derek says, I would try and get Thomas Frank.
He won't leave
See where you're
Brentford.
coming through, Derek.
Not on
I
his
see
first
where you're coming
season.
from, Derek, but it's another one. It's another, like, I think he's, I don't know, would you say he's better than Nuno?
Yes.
Probably would say.
Yeah, he has a
But
good. They
is
play
he,
better football.
the question is he ready for a top? Is he ready for a club like Tottenham? I know we're in dire straits. I know we're in a mess, and I think people say we can't was the top 6 club at the moment. It was top 10 and things like that. But we're still a big club, Matt. We're still take everything away, Matt. We are still a massive club, mate, and with the players we got there, mate. Some players, a few players. I mean, I don't think Thomas Frank at the minute is what the answer is. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. He's done fantastic things at Brentford, and I think he should stay there and just keep doing what he's doing there.
Yeah, I don't think we'd get him anyway. I think he's just ready. I think he's going to do a year at least in the Premier League with them, and they've been good to him. And he's been there for a while. Got the family atmosphere there. Why would he go to Spurs?
Yeah, absolutely, Pearl. And Ricky says, Thomas Frank, I would love being a Dane myself. Well, I said, Rick, I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I'm not saying that he's done great things. I'd just like to see him a few more years at Brentford. Let's see how he does. You know what I mean? We can't just go off 1 season, 2 seasons.
I like Frank de Boer, but no, not Frank de Boer. Who's the Ajax manager? What's his name?
Ten
Hag.
Ten Hag, yeah.
I like him.
100%. 100%.
That should have been tied up. There's no way he wanted to sign a contract at Ajax. He just wanted Spurs to go for it.
That was a smoke screen again, mate. C says Thomas Frank is a good shout. Brentford will cause problems this season. I think it's a bit too early to call about Brentford at the minute. Every new team comes in the Premier League. Most of them are Norwich. They do have good starts, you know what I mean? But Norwich did have a good start in the Premier League when Pookie was firing and things like that. Like what Lee said then. And I think we'll see halfway through the season. Let's see if they can maintain it and let's see how they're doing there. Neo 1972, playing like Wimbledon, the 80s, embarrassing. Playing like Wimbledon from the 80s. Absolutely, seriously, mate. I can't disagree with you, mate. Seriously, I can't go back that far, really. I mean, I was born in 83, so I can't go back that far. But yeah, the back end of the 80s, I remember. Obviously, for the 90s and that, yeah, playing like the likes of Wimbledon, I think, Jesus. And Jake says Liverpool versus Man City. What both think? Well, we'll tell you at the end of that, Jake. We're going to get into the preview now. Richard Evans said the players down tools for Poch at the end, then Josie and now Nuno. This Nuno about down in tools for Poch. Probably say yeah. Jose, but for Nuno, I think this is just like calamity for Nuno. I mean, you don't lose. I've never heard of it, Matt. 3 London derbies, conceding 3 goals.
Well, Santini lost 4, didn't he? Well, was it 3 or 4 in a row? 3-0. Jack Santini. So he's just as bad as him in my eyes.
Old Jack Santini, Jesus Christ, Matt. I don't know where Brian Dagul's gone. He did say he was going to pop in. I'm not too sure. Can't get on my phone to see if he's got a text. Richard says the problem the poor players know once the top manager comes, it is bye-bye for them. Good comment there, Rich. Nia says people laugh when I said go for Potter. Matt said go for Potter as well. There's a few people going for Potter. We have a big support that is Simon. We were a bigger club in the English football in the 80s, but have fallen away big time. Absolutely, Rich. We were back in the 60s as well. You know what I mean? The double we did there. You know what I mean? And I would have taken Klinsmann. He would have played football the right way and knows all the top talent in Germany. That's quite a good shout.
Is he still
Rich.
available?
The players have Nuno by reports. Hates Nuno. Don Carly says, I hope we turn up tomorrow, leave Ali and Winks out of it. Thanks for tuning in, Don. Thanks for Rich as well. So, guys, we're going to get into it. We've had a run. We've had a reaction from the Thursday. Yes, we're back. Matt, we're back, scoring 5 against these fucking minnows. Whatever you want to fucking call them.
I have to say, it was nice to score more than one goal. It was quite nice. It won't happen a lot. So,
as I said, yes, we are back. You know what I mean? Fucking load of shit. Rick says, cheers, fellas, got to leave. See you on the... Yes. We'll see you on there sometime. Absolutely, Rick.
Yeah,
thanks for popping in, pal. Much appreciated. Get over to Shellside Spurs, John, and the crew over there. Give them some love, guys. Subscribe to our channel. Facts and Stats says Klinsmann wants the job. He had said many times he spoke to Levy and said he's always be available. That's a good shout, but Klinsmann, I don't know. I ain't seen much of him as a manager, Matt. I don't know.
Worse than Nuno, can he?
I know, Matt. I know, but is he the right man at the minute we need, mate? No. If I'm being honest, mate, Klinsmann's a flipping. He was a cult hero.
I'd have him as like maybe sort of part time, sort of like come in and because if there's no one available, I'd rather bring in someone who could just get us settled a little bit more, and then we go and get our top target. Whether it's January, because you just never know, do you?
Absolutely. Richard, if I ever bump into you, pair, I'll buy you a few drinks. Top blokes. Thank Rich.
Lovely.
Nice one. Maybe one day, Matt can be at the stage. We can arrange. We can go to a game and you can buy us a few drinks. we can all chip in. Facts and Stats said we should have tested Klinsmann instead of Mason and seen how we've got a short term before making that decision. Who would you get in as manager, Simon and Matt? Quickly on this one because I want to get to this Villa preview. Me and Matt's been 42 minutes and we still haven't got into this preview. Listen, quickly. I want Conte. Matt, go on.
I want Potter. Wave his magic wand, make everything go a little bit better. But yeah.
Rich says Hoddle was the right manager at the wrong time. Seriously, mate. Seriously. If you're telling me now, right, quickly, before we get into this, right, if you're telling me now that we sack Nuno tomorrow after the game against Villa, right, if we lose. Do you know what, right, even if we win, I think Nuno's a dead man walking anyway, right? I'll take till the end of the season so we can just get our managerial appointment right for next summer. I'll take Harry Redknapp and Glenn Hoddle till the end of the season.
Yeah, you know what? Glenn knows the club. He knows it inside out. He could help the likes of like the Celso or try give him a kick up the arse and say, "This is what you need to do in midfield." You know. You see, fucking Harry Redknapp will have some of that shit there. He won't have none of that. I'm telling you. No. I know he's 70 odd years old. I reckon he'd bring some of the youngsters probably through. He'd be like, "Go on, you can have a go."
Richard brings up a good one here. But Rich, I still like Steven Gerrard. Yeah, I'd have absolutely. Him. I think he's going to be the next Liverpool manager after Klopp. I think that's going down that route. I think he's done an absolutely. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, it's a Scottish league now. What the job he's done there.
Oh yeah, Rangers were in the mud. Rangers were in the mud.
Proper in the mud.
So if he can do that, he could do it for us.
Seriously,
I'd have him.
And he knows English football inside out, and was a winner.
Can he bring back Jermaine Defoe with him as well? We need a second striker.
We do a backup striker. So Matt, let's get into. We was going to have Brian Dagul. He was going to pop in for 20 minutes and tell everyone about tomorrow's protest. Matt, I don't know if you want to. Have you got the link?
I did drop him a message, so I'm just waiting for something to come back.
Right, okay, because he normally comes back.
I'll send in the link. Hang on.
I've sent him the link through WhatsApp because that's the main thing he goes on. See.
Okay.
Toxic head. Toxic. Well, send it through thing, Matt. Send it through. See if he's thing. Toxic headshot says Luis Enrique. I don't know where he is at the minute. I really don't know. Where is he, Toxic? Where is he at the minute?
Well, I don't think he's managing, is it? Or is he Spain manager? Spanish.
So let's get into the preview. Come on, let's get into it. Tottenham team news for tomorrow, guys, is same as last week. Bergwijn and Session both out with one ankle injury and a knock. Are we missing Bergwijn at the minute? Possibly.
Yes.
Possibly if you want to say that. Session. What's wrong with this player? I really don't. It's always a knock.
If you ask me.
It's always a knock, Matt, and it's always one of them knocks. And Aston Villa team news, guys. They've got Leon Bailey, Davis, Sonson, and Trezeguet all out tomorrow, guys. I'm not too sure about the Bailey one. It could be. I've been told it's 50-50. They're having a late test in the morning.
He'll be playing them, won't he? Just our luck.
And he could probably get the winner and rub it in and said, "Listen,
probably.
we could have me in the summer." And says, "Oh, what a waste of space." Richard says, "Reports our Bergwijn is in the squad for tomorrow." Yes, there was. I've seen a picture of him with a timer.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And saying
does that mean
soon
tomorrow? I think that could mean soon. Like after I probably wouldn't risk it, but
absolutely. And Rich, great show, guys. I think Nuno is a dead man walking. To be honest, thank you very much, Toxic. And you are absolutely spot on.
Spot on. Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw tomorrow, he's still a dead man walking. I still believe that Daniel Levy is behind scenes now, mate. I'm saying now he's sounding out replacements already, and it sounds stupid. It sounds absolutely, but we know what Daniel Levy does, mate. Seriously.
Yeah. Or maybe he's trying to get an agreement in, and and when he has the chance, he'll just push the button.
Yeah. Hate this weekend, as I know it's 2 weeks of boring. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I hate it too. So yeah, out of that lot, Matt, Bailey's the big one there, isn't it? Trezeguet as well. You can know Trezeguet is quite a good utility player for Villa.
Score a goal. Yeah, definitely.
He's got a goal in him. But Bailey's the one there.
They've got a good
they've got so much quality. And I think tomorrow, Matt,
Danny Ings, isn't it?
Without our creativity, we've got fuck all creativity, and that'll lay into different Villa defenders' hands, mate, because they know they'll have an easy day. I mean, up there with no creativity into Son. Son will have to come try and play deep, get the ball. I mean, and I won't be surprised if Villa goes play a back five and 3 centre defenders with the wing backs.
Yeah.
And I think they'll hit us on the wings, mate. I really do. Get the balls into the box, the wings. That's how I think they'll try and win games tomorrow.
Danny Ings will press our defence as well, because he always has a good game against us.
I think he's got 6 goals against us in the last 5 games, something like that. I mean, he's got a good record against us. Kane likes a goal. So his son likes to go against Villa. So Matt, we've got in this comment. We need to change the manager now to get the best out of our team. It's the best for the team. We can still go in the top 4. Wow.
Oh no, we're done, mate. We ain't getting in that. We're average at best.
I don't think we will. No, I don't think we will get top 4. But stranger things will happen if you have to make it now.
Yeah. If we get a
I
new
mean,
manager and there's a complete change around, then maybe
seriously,
we'll come
mate,
back
you'd
to this
still get top
conversation.
4 in January, Matt. If you're in around about 6th, 7th, something like that in
Yeah.
January, with a good recruitment in January, with a proper manager, you can go on a good run and get top 4.
I guarantee.
Seriously,
I guarantee we could do what we did last year, and we'll go. Oh, if only we didn't lose to Crystal Palace 3-0, and Chelsea and Arsenal and whoever else, or So I think we'll look back at those results and think, shit, that's 9 points gone
Yeah.
already.
Absolutely. Richie says, just reading, they are waiting on Poch return and will sack Nuno ASAP.
If Poch wants to come, he's got
Poch wants to come,
Messi.
but as I'm saying, Poch wants to come back further down the line, guys. Let's not be being weird. He's not coming anywhere soon. You know what I mean? We've got to forget Pochettino. We got to go on to the next man now. Yeah, go on to the next man. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pochettino was a great coach for us, but come on, we've got to get onto that one. That performance on Thursday was a disgrace until the subs come on. Hillary Borough.
Haringey.
Hillary Borough would have turned Mora over. And Toxic say, I'm going to call Poch tomorrow. Yeah, call him. Yeah, call him, mate. Give him a shout. So Matt, let's get into a thing. Let's get into what has Nuno got to change tomorrow, mate? What has he got to change from the Palace game, change from the Chelsea game? Okay, was good in the first half against Chelsea, but perhaps it collapsed in the second half. Embarrassing against Arsenal. Embarrassing. From minute 1 to minute 90, we were shocking. So to me, Matt, it's going against a good Aston Villa side who's just come for a good result. They've had a good rest. We played Thursday night, they had a good rest. They've had a good result against United last week, winning away at Old Trafford. I mean, and they defended very good. And they just, I mean, and what is he got to change against Aston Villa tomorrow? What is it? This starting lineup? Is it personnel? Is it his tactics? What's he got to get right tomorrow, Matt?
Well, I mean, he's got to get his tactics right. I think he's got to get the formation right. I think it's a hell of a lot of things. I do think it's personnel. I think it's formation. I think it's tactics. We've got to be on the front foot. I think from the first half, as soon as that ball kicks, we've got to be up for it. We've got to be pressing Villa. We've got to get at their midfield. I wouldn't play a 4-3-3. I want that scrapped, gone. We can't play it. We don't suit it. So go back to the 4-2-3-1, I think, and I'd play Pierre and Skip as the holding. Try and help the back four because we know they're as open as as you open a tin of beans or something. As soon as we get opened up through our midfield, we're done. So I mean, it's no coincidence since I've seen Skip come on the last few games that we've looked, more solid, especially against Chelsea. He came on and he tried to get about. Arsenal, he was the only one who put a fucking tackle in and got a yellow card. And that's what I want to see from a derby. That's what I want to see for tomorrow. I want them to treat it like it's the biggest game. I want them to go for it. I want them to get on the front foot. I want them to use Son and whoever's going to be on the right. I'd go to a 4-2-3-1. And I'd put Kane, I'd put Son on the left. Probably go Mora maybe in the middle or on the right. Maybe even try Lo Celso in the number 10 position. Because I do think we haven't tried him there before. And actually against Real Betis, that's where he plays. But, oh no, he comes to Tottenham and we somehow think he's a box-to-box midfielder and he can play on the right wing. It's like our scouts buy these players and they don't know where the hell they play. Like in Ndombele, who the hell scouted him and thought, oh, he's going to be a good box-to-box midfielder. He's got no engine, he's got no work rate, and he just hangs onto the ball for too long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. Obviously, you're shaking your head. Maybe Mora in the middle and someone else on the right, but maybe Brian Hill. I would like to see Brian Hill.
The Celso, mate. Seriously. Oh my god, I was laughing after that. I told you, Matt, against that Thursday game.
I know.
Oh my god, come on. Playing against fucking farmers.
No, I know.
We're playing against fucking second-rate fucking players. semi-pro, whatever
I
they
mean, for
fucking are.
me, he's our only player
Come on.
who can potentially.
He doesn't do it in the Premier League. How
No, I
many
know,
times have we got to...
well, I think
I
put him in the
mean,
10 and give him one last chance and say, look, I just want you to stay in this position, maybe drift it in and out a bit, but I want you to play those passes. I mean, that pass he played for Kane's third goal, I know it's against a shit team, but it was a beautifully executed
no,
time
I'm not
pass.
taking it away, Matt. I'm not taking it away. I mean, that's what... But do that in the Premier League.
Yeah, but,
Do that
well, yeah.
I mean, not just for one game, not just for one game, consistency. Then I'll probably say, do you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? You proved me wrong. And I'll come on here and I'll say that you proved me wrong. I love to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting proved wrong.
I think we all do. I think we all would, you know. I think we all know there's a player in there somewhere. He's just got to find it in the Premier League. But I think as long as he just keeps picking Dele Alli, who's not pulling his weight and not pulling up trees, he's not assisting, he's not scoring really apart from penalties. It's you might as well try something different.
To me, Matt, I think he wants to go back to how he played at Villa, Wolves, 5 at the back, 3 centre defenders.
I'd love to see 3 at the back.
Right.
I want to see Ramiro, Roden, and
But
maybe Dyer.
I think that's the only way he knows how to play football, how to set up a team.
So why doesn't he fucking
Why
do
don't
it?
he just have the fucking knackers, the balls to say, do you know what, Daniel Levy, fuck you, right? Don't rule me. I'm the fucking manager. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to play my way, right? If you don't like it, I'll just fuck off. I mean, play what he knows, he knows best.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Because we don't know if it's going to work or not at Tottenham. Play it, try it.
But it's worth a gamble, isn't it? If we see it tomorrow, I'll go, at least he's done something different. At least he's fucking trying something. If he plays a 4-3-3 tomorrow, I'll just sack him after the game tomorrow. Because
he can't go with a 4-3-3 tomorrow. He can't because seriously, it just show us, mate. He hasn't learned. I mean, he needs to show us, mate. He can come. He hasn't got a plan B. He can come and play how he was at Wolves with this back 3, with the 2 wing backs. Because that to me could be perfect for Regs. He's not great at defending.
And Emerson.
And Emerson. You know what I mean? That could be flipping great. I'll tell you. His job's on the line. He's got to pull something out the fucking bag. He's got to change, and he's got to change quick.
Yeah,
seriously, he has to. He's got to mix it up. He really has to. But is Lo Celso in there? I'm not saying Lo Celso is a terrible player. But what we was told but how he performed in Spain for Betis and things like that, we ain't seen nothing like that at Spurs at the minute. He's too injury prone as well. He's always out injured. I mean, consistency. Show us in the Premier League what you did on Thursday night. Consistency, week in, week out, and prove me wrong. And I'll come back on here and I'll say, right, hold my hands up.
If I'm Nuno, I'll go, right, you've had a great game, Lo Celso. I'm going to start you on Sunday. Go and do what you do best, which is create chances for Kane, Son, Moura, and let them do it. I just want you to be the kind of, create those passes that you did against that team. Because we've got to try and get some creativity in our team. And I think him or Ndombele are the only ones who can do it. Because Ali can't do it. I haven't seen anything to suggest he can.
Absolutely. C says embarrassed him bringing the big guns on to get the job done against Moura. Definitely getting slapped tomorrow. Nuno out. Thank you, C, for your fee. Jonesy, yes, Jonesy. I don't think Nuno's had enough time and also had a lot of issues with players missing. But I think we are poor tomorrow. He's gone. Listen, Jonesy, I like to give managers time, seriously. And if in them games there, 6 games there, and we was losing by the odd goal, but we was seeing a bit of an improvement and things like that, I'll say, yes, give him the chance, give him time. But we haven't seen no improvement, Jonesy. We haven't. Especially the last 3 games, mate.
We are being taken the piss out of. Like, honestly, Arsenal ran us riot with ease. And then tonight, they've been absolutely battered.
Yeah. Toxic Headshot says, Nuno, please play a 5-3-2. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Go 5.
It's something different, isn't it? Yeah, something different.
I mean that could save his game. That could save his career at Tottenham. You know what I mean? And Richard says, missed the trick with Rafa Benitez. He's turned Everton around very quickly. At the minute,
A fucking
it
brilliant
looks
side,
like a
Yeah.
shrewd managerial appointment by
He's playing
Everton.
attacking football, isn't he?
And he's playing great football, yes. And they're very hard to beat as well, Everton. And that's what Benitez teams are. He sets them up very hard to beat. That's without Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison today.
Yeah,
I mean?
mate.
Absolutely. And Damari Gray apparently was great again. Townsend
Watched
popped
it,
up with
mate.
another goal.
He got man of the match, but he was awesome.
1.75 million. I'll
And
say that again,
Townsend.
guys.
And Townsend.
1.75 million. Right. I'll come on to Townsend, Matt. That's good. That's a good shout, Matt. And people say, I don't know. He is proving us wrong. 1.75 million. What a signing that is. I don't care what anyone says. And with Townsend, free transfer. A free transfer. I know he's been at Tottenham before, but we've had players back before. I mean, they come and go. What a player he is, mate. Seriously. Toxic says, all right. Yeah. Okay, Matt. Yeah, not a problem, pal. Toxic's head says, I bet we'll go for Dean Smith.
Oh, fuck.
You know what? Dean Smith, right? He's done a great job at Villa. I don't care. He's got Villa, where before he come in, where Villa was, he's come in and he's done a decent job. He's done a decent job at Brentford as well, Dean Smith. And he's a good coach. He's an old-fashioned coach, Dean Smith. But he's adapted to the new style of football, Matt, innit? Dean Smith. And he's playing, he sets up teams very hard to beat. And he's been backed, mate, because they've got some real good, they've got some fantastic owners, mate. Seriously, mega rich. Through silly money at Danny Ings, 150k a week, mate. He's banging in goals. Leon Bailey, Bandera, quality players. You saying them three players won't get into our Tottenham sides, Matt?
I'd have John McGinn, I'd have Buendia, I'd have Bailey, I'd have Ings. There's so many good players. I'd have Tyrone Mings. I'd probably have, Konza,
Matty Cash.
Matty Cash as right back. I think he's better than what we've got, probably.
Mate, Matty Cash.
He's class.
He just does a job.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He does his job, mate.
He gets goals.
He's so
and
consistent.
as well.
His consistency is brilliant, Matt. Yeah. He has the odd game every now and then. He has off, but he's so consistent, mate. That's what I like about Matty Cash. So, guys, stay tuned because I've been told that Brian is on his way. Mr. Dagul, the voice of Tottenham, guys. He's drumming the drum for this protest for tomorrow, guys. He's going to let you know everything what's going to go on tomorrow, guys. So stay tuned for Mr. Dagul. So come on, he's going to have his say as well about the game. So Matt just informed me that. Nice one, Matt. Cheers, pal. Jones said, I don't understand why Skip played in the first 3 games and we won, and then the last 3 he not started and we've lost. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, Josie. Yeah, he's Skip. Do you know what? He has surprised me. He's been every time he's played. He's done his job well on it. But I don't know. I can't. Matt, can you give me an answer? I can't see why.
I just think it shows the manager's tactically inept. I suppose it's just. I think he had a lot of pressure to bring in Ndombele back in because the fans were calling for that.
Is there a lot of pressure as well, Matt, from the board as well? Because they want these players out in January. Play Winks, play Ali, play on Ndombele. I want these players out there.
Manager and have the balls and go, no.
Absolutely, Matt. There you go.
Skip. We're winning games. Why would I change it?
Absolutely.
If it's not broke, don't try and fix it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most teams who do well in the Premier League have consistency and near enough the same lineup. When we were in the 16-17 season, I could tell you the first 11 every week near enough. But now it's just chop, change. He's coming in, he's coming. There's no consistency.
Wow, Richard, look at this team here, Matt. Give me your little thing on this, mate. Richard says, so before I go on this, guys, got some fantastic numbers in here, guys. So keep on coming, guys. Stick with us. Got Mr. Dagul, Mr. Brian Dagul on his way. Subscribe, like, share, guys. Get this channel out there, guys. Tell everyone. And thanks for everyone's support so far, guys. Absolutely everyone. Matt, let's go on this one here. Richard says Loris, Royale, Romero, Sanchez, Reguilon, Dyer, Hoiberg, Son, Mora, Lo Celso, Kane, 4-5-1 formation. So he's playing Dyer in with Pierre. He's dropping Dyer back into that defensive midfielder. You don't want that.
It could work. I don't know if Dyer necessarily has the midfield legs. I'd play Skip personally. Like I say, I think he's got a bit more. I don't think he deserves to be dropped. I think he has been dropped, and ever since he's come back in when we're losing or when we're being battered, he's tried and steadied the ship, and he at least puts his fucking body on the line. He's only a small little bloke, isn't he? But you know, he drives forward as well if he can as well, and he's got a good range of passing. I'm not sure about Dyer in holding midfield. I think those days are kind of done. I think Pochettino worked that out quite quickly, that was a 1 season or 2 season thing, and then Wanyama came in. So no, I don't like a 4-5-1. I think that's quite a negative tactical approach for me. I want to see attacking football.
Yeah, absolutely. Here you go. That's Matt's opinion on that. Richard says the only thing Dele Ali has done in the last 2 years is grow dreadlocks. Dele Ali, I always try and find some positives to say about him, try to back him all the time when people are putting him down. It's hard to say now. It's hard to back him. Apart from his work rate at the minute, I can't fault that. But he's not doing nothing else, is he? Really? So it's hard now to start backing Dele Ali. And these ones got to be called out as well, Matt. Me personally, Dean says Scarlett is okay, but he is offside too much. And once the ball needs to watch it, that will come with him experience. Dean, he's playing at under 21, under 23 level at the minute, under 18s as well. And that'll come in time. He's only 17, 18.
There was no service for him the other night. I don't know why Scarlett didn't stay on and maybe try and play with Kane, just to try and get him a bit more involved in the game. Don't know why Scarlett came off. I don't think he quite deserved that, but
absolutely. Got Dean saying play the women's team. Sorry, also day off tomorrow. My truck is free if defence needs. Yeah, we might need that tomorrow, Dean. Absolutely, matey. Brian Dagul. Hey everyone, lads. I'll be home in 10 minutes. Absolutely, Mr. Dagul's gonna be home in 10 minutes, guys. He's going to make an appearance on here, guys, and I'll tell you about tomorrow, guys, the protest before the Aston Villa game. This guy is literally drumming this thing now for his protest. He's heading it. He's working hard with this Change for Tottenham group. So, Mr. Dagul, he's working hard. I mean, at least he's actually doing something. Bandura ain't good. Oh, come on. He is a good player. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is a good player.
He's a good player.
Toxic headshot. I mean, that's your opinion, mate. I totally respect your opinion, pal.
I'd have him.
But to me, yeah, I'd definitely have him. Absolutely. You're telling me you're not going to have him over likes of Winks and how Dele's playing at the minute? It was
how many goals has Buendia scored this season?
Absolutely, mate.
One
absolutely.
or 2. I mean, Lo Celso and then Domblé haven't scored 1 in the Premier League,
So, guys, we have got over 20 odd people in the chat, guys. Make sure you smash the like, guys. Subscribe and comment. Keep your comments coming, guys. Get your comments ready for Brian if you want to ask him any questions, guys. Richard says we'll keep the likes of Winks, but got a shot of Townsend, who is on another level. We didn't know he was going to. When is that Tottenham? He didn't explode, did he, Matt?
Glimpses, didn't he? Showed
glimpses, yeah. And this is what he does at every club he's been at. I mean, he showed glimpses at Palace. I think he actually showed more than glimpses, actually, because he was quite good at Palace.
There was no going back for Townsend, he pushed one of our staff to the ground and had a fight with him. Like, what did you want us to do? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have fined him and had us, but obviously Poch thought, no, we're not having that in our team. And to be fair, when he made that call, we went on a really, we built the team, didn't we? And went on a great run. So
absolutely.
It's always hindsight, but yeah.
I've got Brian waiting in the background, guys. I will get through these comments first, and then we'll bring Brian on. Will it be live tomorrow? Protest? Can we agree that Reguilon isn't good? The guy is a child inside a man's body. He's playing in the wrong tactics, in the wrong formation. That's what all I can say. I think if you retract back into a back five, we're playing wing backs, you probably see a better Reguilon. That's all I can really say. And to me, there is a good player in Regs. Regs is a good player. Just needs a bit more consistency. Yes, absolutely. Skippy needs to add goals. Wish we could have had Saar now. Yeah, I totally agree with that, but he does do a good job in there at the minute, what I've seen. Richard says, did you read about why Kevin Prince Boateng missed a lot of football? The lucky bloke. No, I don't know what was that, mate. Jen says, completely agree with Matt. The team that we'll all expect to play doesn't, and we chop and change every week. And Tottenham's head says Loris, Romero, Dyer, Sanchez, Reg, Royal, Son, Kane, Celso, Mora, Højbjerg. Toxic. You're saying Reggie's not really that good, but you still had him in your team. Hey, it's got to be that. It's got to be all right. Dean say, how was Lennon today? Bandera, 3 appearances, 1 goal. Outer beats. I don't know how much more of it I can take watching Spurs. It hurts my eyes. Win, lose or draw. Laugh out loud. Yes, bro. Adam's in the house. Outturn beats. Get over to Adam, and he makes beats and things like that. So get over to and give Adam a shout on if you want the beats done. Come on, let's bring him on.
How are we doing, guys? Sorry, my camera's just off because I'm running downstairs to get a drink, and you don't need to get busy of me running upstairs and downstairs. And then I'll put my camera back on. But first of all, how are you both?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, mate. Long time no see, buddy. I did a stream with Simon recently, and obviously you couldn't make it, so it's good to see you. As always, you, Simon. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, a pleasure to have you on, pal.
Mate, I love coming on the channel. I love spending time with you guys, and I'm in the same time zone, so it's good.
Hey.
Sorry I'm so late, but mate, as much as I love this country, bloody hell, trying to get a cab because of this fucking petrol. Jesus Christ. It got to the point where it was saying Uber one drive 1 minute away. Oh, no, he's not going to pick me up 4 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk. So I literally, I've just got off and literally, thank God you're still on air. So yeah. So what have I missed, or where am I coming in, or what's the topic to start off with?
That one there on screen.
Okay, so we're talking about the parasite immediately. So, okay, we can do that. So what I'm going to do to start off with is mainly talk about my story, about why this has happened and why I am like I am, and then any questions or whatever will lead up to that. So obviously he's been with us for 20 years, coming up to 21, and obviously he took away from Sugar after we successfully protest. Let's remember that we successfully protest. You know what? I'm going to jump very, very quickly forward immediately, but because remember when we sat Mourinho before the final, 6 days before the final, and we thought, what are you doing? Everyone should have clocked. This isn't the first time he's done it, because the first move Daniel Levy did as chairman, and it was a very, very good PR stunt. Like when Man City signed Robinho, when the new chairman came in, he got rid of Jules Graham, a gooner, and brought in Glenn Hoddle. Which, when you think about it, oh my God, this guy, he sacked the gooner, he's brought in the best, arguably what a lot of people say is the best player ever. But that was the week before an FA Cup semi-final with Arsenal. And if there's any manager I'd want to manage against Arsenal at that time, it would have been George Graham. So we should have kind of seen the writing on the wall. Anyway, Nick were doing what they were doing. It was looking successful. I lived in Israel for a bit. I came back in October 2007. And I think it was my first day or the second day. I was listening on the radio because television wasn't what it was back then. And I don't think we were on TV. And we got the news at halftime that Martin Jol had been sacked. And obviously the fans and everyone knew before he did. And Martin Jol, to me, is the catalyst of everything that's happened to Tottenham. Everything that's good, the footballing style, the way we started going up the tables, was down to him. And from that moment, I was Levy out. Not as staunch as I am now, but that was the turning point for me. Just the lack of respect, and to sack someone in that manner, again, not backing him. So that's where it started. Then obviously, I'm not going to go through every single thing because we'd be here all bloody night. But obviously, in the last few years, it's just been ridiculous. Let's just fast forward. Harry Redknapp, AVB, when we sold Bale. That Bale money, AVB only wanted 2 of those players. Not the 7. He wanted Moutinho and he wanted other people. But I can't remember the exact 2 he wanted. I know Ericsson was one of them, but I can't remember the other one. And AVB very, very openly spoke out about this. And we were told that Levy and Baldini brought these players in and you deal with it. So I'm going to keep going back and forward now. So then you look at Poch in the final years, and then Levy comes out and said, do you know what? I offered him players and he said no. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. That didn't stop you with AVB. You can't have it both ways. So anyway, so then we had Harry Redknapp. Same issue. Got rid of him. Successful manager when we wanted Cahill and Tevez, and we got Nelson and Saha when we were genuinely going for the title. Now, don't get me wrong, Harry Redknapp screwed us with the England job and form. But again, Levy. Then we got Pochettino. Now, obviously, Pochettino is the most recent one. And we all know what a fantastic job that man did. And what also made that job so complete was we had a great person in Paul Mitchell, who was bringing in the correct players. They were coming in like we were churning out players, and the youth was coming through. And then Paul Mitchell left because basically he couldn't work along with Levy, and Levy wasn't listening. So why hire these people if you're not going to listen to them? So then obviously Poch did what he could. Again, wasn't backed. The players have got to take a lot of responsibility this future's crop because they threw the towel in on him, which is just absolutely disgusting. The fact that 9 of them started against Arsenal just blows my mind. And then he brought Jose within a heartbeat. Now, we all know that he's wanted Jose for years. And we all know as football fans, Jose Mourinho goes to a football club, spends hundreds of millions, wins titles, turns the place toxic, and leaves. Every club he goes to. Poch was apparently on 100 grand a week, give or take a few grand either side. And remember, we couldn't sign anyone. We couldn't bring in Dybala because of that 14 million, but that 14 million went to Poch's payout. And then he put Mourinho on £205,000 a week. So you know what this guy's going to do. And again, he wasn't back. He kept saying, I want a defender. I want a defender. The Skriniar deal. Let's just pick Skriniar. I'm not going to go Grealish to break them down. Skriniar was the one. Didn't get what he wanted. Gets us to a final to win a trophy. And then obviously, on the verge of winning a trophy, you sack him. Now, I hated that decision. I didn't want Jose to stay, but I thought, if anything, sack him after the final or sack him at the end of the season. And then obviously we had the ESL, where his actions, Levy then and Lewis, not apologising, not doing anything. And then obviously you've got to remember the lies we had about we'll have a manager before the end of the season, didn't happen. We'll have a manager before the end of the year, beginning of the Euros, didn't happen. The end of the Euros, it didn't happen. Then the Poch and Conte rumours, which I called, I came on your channel as well and said, this is the season ticket renewals. And the second it's done, that happened. Then the debacle with all the managers. We brought in Paratici, who may be excellent, and he's widen the net of the calibre of players we can get. But when you're looking at our model, which is play attacking football, as he said, attacking, expansive, open football, bring through youth and find players cheap. Now, for me, I don't know with the rest of the people in the comments, that screams Ten Hag. Screams absolutely is what he does at Ajax. And then apparently he didn't do well in the interview. Well, do you know what? I hate this term. A manager's interview is on the pitch. I don't care if he doesn't say, "Oh, my business model." It's not his job. His job is to show this is what I do on the pitch. But apparently he didn't do well. And then we had the whole manager's debacle. And then with Paratici. Paratici has been at Juventus, where he can spend what he wants and say to players, come to Italy, come to Turin, you're going to be pretty much guaranteed the title and Champions League football every year. He's broken deals for Ronaldo or whatever, and big deals. That's not the Tottenham Hotspur model. The Tottenham Hotspur model is buy young, build for the future, and sell high. We're the only club in the world that I think say, do you know what, before we buy a player, just in case he doesn't work, how much we get for him if we sell him, rather than buying the finished article. The person this was screaming was Louis Campos, who's got a track record of doing that, and he brings in this guy. Then you look at deals like Tomiyasu, because we couldn't sign him for 2 million, and we couldn't sign him because he was the Olympics, but later that week we managed to sign Brian Hill, who just so happened to be at the Olympics. We paid more for Royale than we did for Tomiyasu, would have done for Tomiyasu. And people forget that we signed this sleeve deal and we signed this training deal and everything goes back into the club. So why didn't we use 2 million to get Tomiyasu? Why is there always, every single Martinez, it's always let's put a big name out there so the Spurs fans go, look, we're trying. But then nothing happens. It's hot air. And then you just look at the football now and the lack of strength in depth. And just talking about the Chelsea and Arsenal games, forget Palace. I mean, it was diabolical. And do you know what it is? There was a tweet that really, really hit me last week with the boxing when they said, you know what, if you look inside that stadium, you would not know it's Tottenham Hotspur unless you know. There's no THFC like we had. There's no Cockerell. There's no nothing. It is an entertainment centre. That's all it is. The statue for Jimmy Greaves, especially with this week, West Ham unleash a new state. And you know what? I'm a fan that doesn't play Monopoly. I don't care that we've got the biggest shop in Europe. I don't care against Chelsea we had a zero carbon footprint. I don't care that we've got the longest bar in the world that brings beers up from the bottom. I don't care what he's building on top of it. I support Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, where the players on the pitch, for a lot of people, not just the people watching and the fellow YouTube streamers, Tottenham Hotspur is a rite of passage. It's a religion. It's life. And they're also furloughing the staff or attempting to furlough the staff and giving yourself a bonus for delivering the stadium a year too late. And it's got to the point now where, you know, when you split up or you say, you know what, this guy, I don't want to know him anymore. I don't recognise him. I just don't, he's gone. That's what that football club is to me now. There used to be a football club there that stood for something, that meant something. The game's about glory. Just Phil Nicholson. And now it's nothing. It's just a fancy stadium that can hold multiple events. And I'm sick and tired of hearing, oh, don't worry, next season we'll invest, or this is the season, or this is the season. I'm sick and tired of going through managers the rate we do. I'm sick and tired of being lied to constantly. There's no communication. There's no, even the supporters trust, who came out with a blooming email the day after a statement was released, and they have the audacity to say on Twitter today, Tottenham have received our thing. They're waiting to see if they decide to meet with us. So, well done. I think we know what's going to happen here.
Exactly.
I'm sick and tired of one trophy in 20 years. I don't expect us to win a trophy every year. I expect Tottenham Hotspur to compete. This 20 years is the worst 20 years since 80 years ago. It has been the worst time. And do you know what? All he cares is about money. Like today, there was an email out saying, oh, you can sit in the exclusive box or whatever for £267. There's people that can't give their season ticket away for free. And I'm just sick and tired of having to listen to all this. And I know, like, you know, I've been doing YouTube for a year now, and I've been calling this the whole time. And when I started, I was getting a lot of abuse from a lot of people in the chat, on Twitter, whatever. Well, after the Super League and after the 20-year thing that I went mad on We Are Tottenham TV, obviously it started turning. And now, more and more people are starting to realise what is going on with this club. And enough is enough. Like we tried to do it after the ESL, but the ESL, obviously, there wasn't enough time to prepare it. It was in the midst of a pandemic where people didn't want to leave their house, let alone travel to Tottenham and be in a group of people. Well, it was meant to be starting the NFL. Was there always, and do you remember, Simon, I said, as soon as the NFL was booked, I'm coming to London. Like Avi and Snatch, I'm coming to London because I give it all the mouth. I give it all the mouth, but I need to be here to support and back it up. So I'm here. But because of the Arsenal-Chelsea games, we're going to now be protesting at every single home game. Now, the great thing about this is obviously people are talking about, will people turn up? Well, we're guaranteed 62,500 people to be there anyway. Anyway, regardless, because people are going to the match. Now, whether you Levy in or Levy out, I totally respect everyone's opinion. Everyone's opinion, everyone is entitled to it. I am so far gone on the Levy out that you just can't turn, whatever. But it's come to the point now where we've tried everything. Everything we've tried, and no one's listening. Now, with the NFL, and I'll tell you from living in North America, and I think if there's anyone in the chat from North America, they'll testify to this. The NFL and everything America is all about image. Good image, good experience. Great image, great experience. Any negative press, believe me, I'm going to say this now. We are not going to go there to cause riots. We are not going there to cause trouble. We just want to have our say. That's it. Now, at the NFL, if they get a whiff of anything, we're not going to try and postpone the game or get it called off. If it gets onto the media, the cameras, if it gets noticed, or if some fans say, do you know what, we would have enjoyed our experience a lot more, but the NFL will be on ENIC and swallow them whole. And swallow them whole. And if they take their money out, now people will say, oh, they've got a contract. I guarantee you the NFL have got breakout clauses. Like, if we don't hit this money or you don't sell that much or whatever, we're out. And that goes for the shirt sponsors as well. Stop buying Nike stuff in the Spurs shop. Go to JJB Sports, I'm sure they get a slice of the pie. But if the profits drop and Nike are getting their quota, they'll be onto them. Then you start getting the people in the corporate. Now, with the corporate, let's not get this wrong. I was at the stadium for Chelsea. It's a magnificent stadium. It's a work of art. And people, like they did in the old White Hart Lane, use those corporate places to wine and dine clients and show them a good experience. Can you imagine if they go there and all they hear is Levy out, ENIC out, boo, 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 whatever. Those corporates will turn around and say, listen, Daniel, you're not delivering. It's all about devaluing the club. Because if the money stops ringing, and there's a great guy called Arthur who's been on a few streams recently that says stop the tills from ringing. And the only way these people will listen is stopping the tills from ringing. So tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m, because obviously it's a 2 p.m. kickoff, people are going to be gathering opposite the club shop. I don't know if it's to be outside or opposite, but obviously opposite, you've got all the Levy out flags that are, again, exactly. Oh, they're saying outside the club shop. That might be, it's either going to be outside or opposite, regardless. But listen, we're not saying we're going to get Levy out straight away. We're not saying this is today's the day. But Cody Mack always says, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And we have to try. We have to try. Now, can you imagine as well if we lose badly on Sunday? Nuno could go, and Nuno will get the blame, but he picked him after 75 days. And again, people keep blaming the manager, but who's the common denominator? There's one man that's been there the whole time. And it's like, he didn't have, if he had that 75 days if you'd hired him at the end of the season, like was promised, who knows what would have happened? Because he would have had longer with the team, would have been able to probably get some players in. So do you know what? It's not, this movement is growing. People are getting unhappy. And if we don't try, I'll never ever forgive myself for not trying. Because something has got to be done when you look at the things that have happened, like you look at Liverpool, who we were neck and neck with, and look where they are. You just look at it, and we're going 2 years ago. We were in the Champions League final with potentially one of the best up and coming managers in Europe, and we were flying. And within 2 years, we're in the Europa Conference League, and we can't even play attractive football. So I've had enough. I've had it for 14 years. And now is the chance that if you feel you want to change, not saying it's going to happen instantly, it could take a year, it could take 5 years, it could take a month. But we did it with Sugar. We did it with Scholar. And people keep saying to me, do you know what? Well, if he goes, who do you want to get in? And my answer to that is, it can't be any worse than one trophy every 20 years. Being lied to constantly. Selling you out for the Super League. Not buying players to benefit the manager. So how can it be any worse? So I don't know if any people have got questions or comments in the end, but yeah, it's just like I said, we're very peaceful. We just want to have our say and say, listen, but basically, this is our football club, not their brand. And whether you leave Levy in, Levy on the fence, or Levy out, everyone wants a successful, competitive Tottenham Hotspur. And some people are just, wait till Levy does this, wait till Levy does that. And there's others that say, you've had 21 years, mate. A leopard don't change its spots. So we're going to give it a go. And trust me, we need help. The crowd is growing, but we need help. So please, if anyone can get to N17 tomorrow, or the NFL protest, or any other home game. Now, I know there's a lot of fans that want to come from across the world and just can't. I understand that. If you're at home and you're still scared about COVID, or it's too long, I understand that. I understand that. But if you can get there and you do want change, and you're sitting there going, I don't know if this will work. Well, just you know when they say when you vote in the election, you didn't vote. It could have been that vote that decided. Well, numbers like that is for us right now. So if you want to be there, I'm going to be there I plan to be there 11 o'clock, but based on trains and traffic, there's a bloody petrol in this country. We shall see. But we're going from 11. I don't know. Kickoff's at 2, so I don't know how long we'll be going for. Like I said, it's to be every home game. The NFL ones are the main ones. And yeah, just please, if you want to help or you can help, please come and help.
Well done, Mr. Dagul. Well done, pal. Well done. Absolutely. And what's that song? That video I sent you? We don't want Daniel Levy. Please, you gotta believe me.
I made 2 songs up myself. I've got oh, what a night. Watching Tottenham on a Thursday night. Got no depth because our chairman's tight. What a feeling, what a night. Yeah, so there's going to be a few, mate, it's literally, like I said, we listen, we can only try. And like I said, I will die trying. Absolutely. And I'd rather say, when I look back on myself, whether Levy goes or stays, that you know what? I gave everything I could. I've come from Toronto to be here.
Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic, right. Absolutely,
so let's see what happens.
I mean, Brian, if you feel like it doesn't, I'm not saying it won't work, but are you going to create songs in the stadium, or are you sort of leaving that and just doing your outside sort of stuff?
So there's been talks of walkouts as well.
Okay.
But obviously this has got to be, and it's very hard to say to people, right, walk out. Some people take their families and they work hard for their money. And I understand that as well. But there's been numbers branded about that have been walking out on 13 minutes, but obviously not 13 minutes from the beginning, because what's the point of going? 13 minutes from the end to represent how many years we've gone trophyless. There's also one saying 20 minutes near the end because of the amount of time they've had us. But the one that seems to really stick is 61, for obvious reasons, the double. And can you imagine the impact that would have if any of those numbers and people mass walk out, and Sky or BBC for Match of the Day or BT Sport or all the broadcasters around the world see this happen? Listen, there's plans for songs, but what you got to remember as well, Simon, Matt, is back at White Hart Lane, you knew if you're on the Shelf side or side of the Park Lane, that's where everyone was going to be, and you knew that people would sing it. But what's happened now is, I don't know if it's the club's fault or people with season tickets have wanted to sit in different stands, but the people that were there, the hardcore, and the fans from the Paxton and the East Stand, and they're all blotted all over the place.
Yeah.
So you can, like, I sat next to Ben, and Ben from We Are Tottenham TV, who I'm sitting with tomorrow, shouts and screams songs till he's blue in the face, and I was trying to join in with him, but I don't know if it's because of the football was so dire and whatever, that it's so much harder to get a song going in an atmosphere. And the white wall or whatever we're calling it was meant to be that area to make it intimidating, like Dortmund. So what they should have done is they should have said, listen, Shelf side, Park Lane side, in you go, we need you there, because that would have generated the noise, like Crystal Palace have behind that goal. They're flipping annoying, like the Cop, like those stands that really give it, and it just hasn't happened. But there's plans for the songs, but obviously with these songs you've got to get them out and people hear it, then you've got to rely on other people to join you in. So that there is plans for inside as well, but obviously it needs to be coordinated properly. And when this whole NFL thing started, that was obviously because of the worldwide media attention, that was always going to be a highlight of, that's the one to focus on. And a lot of effort has gone in to trying to, like, you follow me guys on Twitter, everything I tweet is about blooming him and whatever, and it's just been getting awareness out there. But this has been coming, the NFL ones, and we'll see. Listen, if we get a bad win against Villa, bad win, does that even make sense? A bad defeat against Villa, you can see what's going to happen. But like I said, it needs numbers. We need numbers for inside more than outside. The great thing is, like I said, every single game, whether it's the NFL or a home game, compared to the ESL ones, you're guaranteed 62,500 people there. You're guaranteed Sky or BT there, so there's going to be media coverage. I mean, people were telling me, like Bob Spur and everyone, when they went to the ESL ones, that there were 2 coppers that walked off and Sky, and they buggered off when they realised it was nothing. They can't do that this time because there's a game, it's being televised. Listen, starting with the 300 or whatever it was, the number at the ESL, 62,500 guaranteed people there is a much better start.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. I mean, this one we're not expecting big numbers or people because people might be coming to see what's going on and maybe like, I don't know if I want to. I'm on, but the NFL one was always going to be the big one. Always going to be the big one. So that's going to be the proper cage, but it will be happening at every home game from now on.
There you go. Brian, we're going to get in some comments here, matey. Richard says, Brian, we need new owners with a plan and take this football club to the next level. I bet Enoch are eyeing up the next big boxing fight or Tina Turner at the stadium instead of transfers. Ed Wilson, yes, back in the chat. Thank you very much for coming in, pal. At Premier Hotspur TV, hi guys. Hi, Brian D. Absolutely fantastic support. Richard says, reminds me of Arsenal when they left Highbury, and these new stadiums have no soul.
So to talk on that, Simon, this will be very quick. This is the other thing that annoys me. For someone that's a great businessman, he had the exact blueprint of what was going on right next to him to see what was happening. And he lied to us when he said, the money for the stadium's here and then transfers is here. He saw this happening. He has seen it happen across the road. Said, don't worry, we're doing it a different way. We're doing it a different way. And it's exactly right. We're exactly where Arsenal were after this amount of time when they left Highbury for the Emirates.
Absolutely. Ed Wilson says, Brian always wears his heart on his sleeve. Absolutely spot on. I boycotted the club for the last 2 years and will continue until the Mitchell brothers have gone. It's Richard. Jill says, well said, Brian. Spot on.
Thank you.
1 League Cup and 21 managers. Well done, Enoch. Eduardo says the sacking of Jose before the cup final was history repeating itself. Deja vu regards the sacking of George Graham prior to the FA Cup semi against Arsenal. Absolutely spot on. Eduardo says Mr. Levy is like a chancellor of the Esquire. He gives with one hand and takes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
totally. Richard says, how on earth do you sack a manager in a cup final week? Sorry, guys. I've got a lot of comments to catch up here, guys. I'm sorry.
That's a lovely hold music.
Rumors are Amazon and Dallas Cowboys want to buy us. Yes, please.
So the Dallas Cowboys is just a rumor. It's been, I can tell you from North America, this has been circling for years and years, and it's just another. I mean, again, we're talking about that naming rights. He's been trying to get the naming rights for 4 years, and sometimes we've been so close to that extra money coming in the club, and then where's it? It's
apparently after that boxing fight, we was close after Joshua, but nothing's happened. So
of course it won't. It's hot air.
It's good. It's going to be called AJ Bowl or something. So something like that. Richard Evans says, not sure. Not sure if either of those will be much better off getting Jordan or Oil Prince. Absolutely, I'll take them. Richard says people have the power to bring anything to a stop. Absolutely, Richard.
You know as well, and people say it. Look what's happening with the people on the M25 for climate change. Look at the chaos they're causing. Okay, people power can work if it's done correctly, and we are doing everything correctly.
Absolutely. I would take Arab oil owners tomorrow, mate. Toxic headshot say, but Nuno is the manager, not Levy, mate. Richard says Leicester City are another club with fantastic owners. Yep. It'll be good for success, but would come with the same stigma at Man City, though. I don't give two balls about that. I will take that all day long, mate. Poch changed the culture of the club. Regardless of off the field activities, we need a big personality. Richard, and they want us to move to West Ham.
Yep, they did.
Nuno is a normal manager. The facto manager would appear to be Mr. Levy. He's been interfering with the managers since he's came on the scene 20 years ago, like Brian said. The shelf side Spurs, an interesting question to ask these clowns that still support Levy and Enoch is what went wrong after the Champions League final to where we are now. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Big up John on the shelf side Spurs. Absolutely fantastic comment there, mate. And Joe Lewis looks like Vince. He makes me laugh and more, I tell you. Oh, he does. Big up Brian from Derek.
I love him.
I like fans like Brian. Absolutely. Brian's great. It's been a waste of time. Nothing will happen, but I respect Brian. Levy don't come what we say. Brian, do you have a little quick thing about that?
No, I can. I mean, Toxic Headshot, he's an absolutely incredible supporter of all the channels. He's always on Tottenham on tour, and he's great. And like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinion. But listen, we did it with Sugar. We did it with Scholar. And listen, like I said, I would rather die trying knowing that I had. Absolutely. You know they say it's better to have loved and lost rather than have not loved at all. Well, that's what this is. And with Toxic Headshot, I understand what you're saying because people think that we think that there's going to be the NFL protest and they're going to go, oh, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Listen, he's not that kind of guy. I mean, the smug walk when he walks into the stadium and he's so emotionless. For a so-called Spurs fan, have you ever seen him on the Jumbotron doing anything other than this? There's never any passion. There's never any. Listen, I keep saying it, we can only try. And the only way can you imagine if, let's just say, 10% of the people going tomorrow didn't spend a penny either in the shop or in the stadium? They will realise that hit straight away. There are other businesses, like I will always say Chick King because I love them, and the Pie and Mash shop. These businesses that have been ripped apart by COVID, like everyone in the world, go spend your money at these little cafes or in the pubs or whatever. They may charge you a little bit extra. I don't know the difference in the price, but it's going to them directly to support their families, to pay their rent, to pay their bills, as opposed to this guy who tries to furlough staff but gives himself a bonus. So listen, if the tills stop ringing, as Arthur said, we never know, because that's the only time they're going to listen. I haven't spent a single penny within the club since the summer we didn't sign anyone, which then became the season we didn't sign anyone. Not a single penny has gone into the club, and I refuse to do it until they've gone. I'm lucky enough to be able to get tickets, but it's literally, I'm going there mainly so I can have my say in the stadium. I want to see my club. I support my team. I support the club. I don't support the board. And like I said, Levy may not care what we say, but he cares if we don't spend. And that's what we got to do.
Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. And we got Bob. And we got Bob Spur TV. Yes. Big up, Bob. Get over to Bob Spur. Absolutely fantastic channel again, guys. He's on the wall. Was it 10:30 tonight, guys? Get over there and watch it tonight, guys. Brian's going to be on there. Sorry, that speech made me so emotional, confused. Made me so proud. It made me hug my cat, but also so angry. It made me kick it too. Big up, Dagul. Big up, Bob's as well. Big up, Bob's.
I've gone for this. Everyone knows me for shouting and screaming and going mad and being comedic and losing my rag. And obviously, people love that, and it's what I was known for. But it's come to the point now, and I've realised people were getting, maybe some people were getting annoyed, but maybe some people are like, oh, he's shouting Levy again. He hates. And I realised this time there's no jokes. Yes, I can joke a little bit, but I've got to do it in this way and just spit hard facts, rather than just shouting and whatever. And it seems to be working. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jet's game. Much love, Brian. This man is a real genuine person. Honestly, we should be lucky he is a Spurs fan. Absolutely.
A fellow Canadian. Cheers, brother.
I tell you that. What I was going to say is the protests aren't strong enough. Did you see the pathetic protests in the summer? Just fans singing songs and knocking back beer. Yeah. But I believe in this one. It's been headed by this guy here, Brian. And
yeah, I've got to say that, because people are saying that. Now, obviously, I have my platform, and I've been literally whoring myself out anywhere I can whilst I've been here. I'm very lucky that I've had this platform. So you've known me talk about this constantly for years. So I have this. There are a lot of people behind the scenes, a lot. And when I say a lot, I'm not going to go into numbers, but they are working around the clock, morning, noon, and night, to write out those statements, to put all the social media out, to do everything. So I'm lucky to be with them, because it's a group of people that feel the same as me. But my part of this is obviously I'm helping them with as much as I can. But I've always had the platform to come on and speak about it. So people are thinking that I'm the creator. I'm not the creator. I'm part of something. And I always believe in giving credit where it's due and not taking all the glory. So, yeah, it's something that I'm a part of and very proud to be part of. But it's not just myself. I have to get that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely won't sign players in January. Levy will punish us. I just hope things don't get worse. I just want Tottenham to win. Hi, Simon from Finage.
Just in return to toxic. So we should be spending in January, because we've had the Anthony Joshua fight. We've apparently got the 90 million that we didn't get for Martinez, because we had that deal agreed, but then Chelsea came and signed Lukaku whilst we had the deal. So there's that. We've had the shirt sponsor money for the training. We've had the sleeve sponsor, and we spend everything that comes into the club. So
plus we need players.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
We'll buy some more players for the bill for the future and send them out on loan at their clubs for the rest of the season.
We've got Jake's here saying not having a go in any way whatsoever, but will a peaceful protest work? It seems violence is the only way to get through to owners. Look what United did. Feel Spurs need to do something similar. Brian, do you agree with something similar?
I'm just going to. People are thinking, because we're Levy out, we're yobs, we're violent, we're going to go there and just like the England football. No. 2 stories I can tell you right now. Ben, we are Tottenham TV. who enoch out. You know how big that channel is, and they are the most. Ben and Simeon are incredible. I mean, I've got to know them very, very well. When you go to a game with them and see can I have a picture, get non-stop, and they'll help anyone. So we went to a bar, and Ben was up on the chairs outside, screaming and singing with everyone. And he was with his wonderful fiancée. She's incredible, Ashley.
Yeah.
And a guy walked up to him whilst he was next to Ashley and said, "You're everything that's wrong with the club," and chucked a beer in their face and ran off. Thankfully, or not thankfully, I went to look for him, but it'd run. I was on the phone to my wife, who was in Canada. And then thankfully, all the people at this pub supported Ben. Like, Ben, don't worry, and support. But this was a Levy outer. Sorry, a Levy inner to Ben, a Levy outer. At the last protest, Levy outers were punched in the face. I've had someone come to me and said, since I've been Levy out and this person known, I've had this said to me. I've had threats on YouTube, Twitter, or social media, all for being Levy out. Because we're fighting against something, we're apparently the villains. No one's the villains here. Everyone has their opinion. Now, listen, violence never works. Violence will just make. Listen, we were going to protest at the Chelsea game, but obviously when Jimmy Greaves passed away, there was absolutely no chance. That day was about respect for his family and grieving. As I say, I used the Hitman Hart saying, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be in centre forward. So that was no time to protest. And if we had, can you imagine, everyone would have gone, "Oh, how disrespectful, how whatever." So we were like, no, sir, violence never solves anything. It's going to cause, we're trying to get the right publicity to make this big. If we start being violent, which we have no plans to whatsoever, then how does that make us look? That makes us look like the idiots. And that's not what we want. We want, don't get me wrong, we'll be singing and shouting chants and whatever and Levy out, whatever. But we're not going to be doing like a Buddhist monk and going through silence. But there is no way violence is by any chance acceptable in any sense, football, life, whatever. And this is not what we're here to do, and that's not what's going to work. But then you look at it with Man U, they hate the Glazers. They want the Glazers out. They know the Glazers are taking money out of the club to pay debts and using it as a cash cow. But here you go, have Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho, and we can't pay 2 million for Tomiyasu. So, but like I said, violence is 1,000,000,000% not happening, and we don't. I certainly don't condone it, and neither does anyone else. That is not the message of what we're here to deliver.
Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. Big Pap says people have the power. Levy is only hoping and praying that the people think that they don't. Absolutely. Absolutely, pal. Derek says Levy is getting in Billy's smart circus in next season. Toxic says, thank you, Brian, for mentioning me. It means a lot, but I just love Tottenham and football, not the owners.
Exactly. He's a great supporter. Like I said, he's a great guy. He's never come on a stream, but he's always in the comments supporting all of us.
Always in the comments. He's always on them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Big up, Toxic.
And we've got Hyper. Levy deserves violence. But again, look at the Tottenham protest. No way. Look at the Arsenal protest. Or like Bayern said, look at the United protest. We are Tottenham fans going to do something. When are Tottenham fans going to do something? As Brian said, he don't want the violence and what other teams have done and things like that. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. And
there's that thing where they say there's United, there's cities, there's whatever, but there's only one Hotspur. And just because they not do it, and other teams think that's acceptable, with Tottenham Hotspur, we did used to ooze class, style, panache, respect, quality, and that's what we're going to be there for. There's no, like I said, violence is so far off the cards. It's not even a thought. I mean, it doesn't solve anything. We will come off as the bad guys, which we're not, and literally it's It's not to be condoned. It's not going to be condoned at all.
Absolutely. So, guys, Brian, absolutely fantastic speech there, guys. Telling about when Levy's come in and what's happened and things like that. Fantastic speech there, Brian. And he's told about everyone, guys. Get down there tomorrow, guys. 11 o'clock outside the clubhouse, outside the club shop, Brian.
It's going to be outside or opposite the club shop. You'll see the Levy out banners opposite. But listen, if you can't get there for 11, you don't need to get there for 11. If you're coming and you get to the ground at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you get there when you can. I mean, we're going to be there from 11. I don't think we're all going to arrange and synchronise our watches to get there for 11. But obviously, it's going to start there from 11. I'm aiming to get there for 11, but obviously public transport, whatever. And then kick-offs at 2. So there's 3 hours there, or let's say an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, because you want to get into the ground and yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter if you protest for 15 minutes or 2 hours. Just come, and if you want to have your say or be part of something that means something to you, then please, by all means, do it.
Absolutely, absolutely right. So, Brian, before you go, Brian, give us your quick prediction for tomorrow, mate.
So I've made a thing now, because I've been so wrong with predictions, that I'm not predicting stuff. I'm just praying to any God that will listen to me. I don't know if this will be the last game I see ticket-wise before I go back to Toronto at the end of October. I just want to see Spurs score a goal in the new stadium, and preferably a goal that puts us in the lead, not like 2-1, 2-0 down and we get a consolation. I just want to see a goal. And I just want to see us not play 4-4-3. It doesn't suit the team we've got. You've got the best striker in the world who plays as a 1. If you're playing him, play him in a bloody 1. And you know what? If we lose 2-0 tomorrow, but we tried a 4-2-3-1 or 3 at the back and we gave it a really good go, then you're like, do you know what? Hands up. Tottenham gave it a goddamn go. But this 4-3-3 just does not work. And Dele Alli, please just don't play. Get your hair caught in your cupboard or something, or like Monica in Friends, have a shower and your hair gets caught up in the shower and you can't get it because you run around and maybe take a good penalty, but nothing else. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah, so we are sick of it, Brian. Everyone's absolutely sick and tired of what's going on at this club. And Brian, just one more, mate, just because I'm going to get back to you on this as well. Will you sack Nuno tomorrow if we lose against Villa? I know. I heard you the other day, Brian. You said if it's like a close 2-1 loss and things like that, it may survive another week. But a heavy loss, you did say that if it's a heavy defeat.
So you know what it is? So the worst thing about this is it's the international break. So for 2 weeks, the media, if it's a bad loss, will be on Tottenham Hotspur like a rash. Then you look at it. If Daniel Levy fires him, it's another manager after that bloody circus that wasn't backed and has gone. So you waited so long and mucked us about for this, and that's another managerial approval. But then if he doesn't, if he does, who the hell do you bring in? And what's the point? Who in their right mind would want to come in? If I was a football manager, I was out of work, believe me, if I'm the kind of manager, whether it be an Eddie Howe that I said at least will play attractive football, or a Conte, or whoever's out of work, they've got enough money in the bank for the rest of their lives. I would wait until another job comes, because I would not want this job, and it makes us look stupid again. So he brings in this manager but doesn't back him and gets rid of him after 6 games. Then if it's a heavy defeat and he doesn't, the pressure, and then he'll bring in Mason. And then if he brings in Mason, oh my, this is the mess we're in, because he won't go out and give Conte the job and back him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So absolutely. It doesn't, like I keep saying, we could sack Nuno and get Klopp in and Guardiola as his assistant manager, and it wouldn't make a blind difference, because the same thing would happen as it has for 20 years.
Absolutely. Matt, quickly on that one, Matt.
I suppose 2 ways to look at it. Obviously, yeah, I think so, but I think I'm in agreement, kind of, with Brian. If he maybe try something different, we play a 3-4-3, a 3-5-2, or see something different, and we narrowly lose, and we're going for it, and we're trying something different, and I can see some form of way forward, then yes, I'd probably, even if we lost, I'd be like, okay, well, we tried something. Maybe we work on that. If he has players that aren't on the international break, he works with them, and we go to Newcastle and we try again. If I see a 4-3-3 tomorrow and I feel like nothing's changing, then I just feel like it's time to go, especially if it's a heavy defeat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, Brian, don't know if you missed it earlier. What me and Matt was saying. I think it's Daniel Levy telling him to play telling he's playing these tactics, these formations to get the likes of Dele and Winks into the transfer window for January. I think in mind, Nuno needs to flip and grow a pair and say, do you know what, Daniel Levy? I'm playing my formation, what I did at Wolves, and it worked. I'm playing my 3 at the back with my two wing backs, which that could bring on Reguilon because he's not great defensively, but he's great going forward. And you never know. We could probably see a difference in Doherty. I mean, we know we're not big fans of this guy, but let's see something different. As what you and Matt just said there, Brian. Let's see something different. Tell us that you can do it. You can want to try. But I think he ain't got the balls, Brian. He hasn't got the balls.
So the thing is as well, if you jump on the line, just go for it. Just go for it. What's the owner gonna do? Sack you? But then you look at it, how this parasite has the authority to do this. Did you reckon Nuno, Poch, AVB, Yol, and all the other managers go into his business meetings and go, well, the way I reckon we can promote our marketing revenue is if we do this and brings out a PowerPoint? No, because it's not his job. They don't know anything about the business side. They know what happens on the training pitch and on the football pitch. So why is a glorified accountant saying you have to play this? It makes no sense. I mean, like I said, I'm so far gone on the Richter scale of Levy out that I'm off the chart. You can't even register where I am. But people out there, like I said, I respect it. Your opinion is I just don't see how they condone it and how they allow it and how they like, well, surely this shouldn't be happening. And it's just rumour after rumour, laughing stock after laughing stock, and people blame everyone else apart from the person that's been there for 20 years and been through it all. And it just blows my mind.
Absolutely, Brian. We got Cody. Yes, Cody. Yes, Cody, Matt. Yes, lads, ready for the weekly chewing. Absolutely. Benjamin showing. But Brian, fantastic. Thanks for coming on, pal. Absolutely.
Mate,
pleasure for Premier Oxford TV, guys, and to have you on. And giving us, I mean, your insight. I mean, I'm then leaving, telling everyone what's going to happen tomorrow and what everyone needs to do, Brian. I mean, and I've been saying it for a long time. The only way we're going to get these guys out, because Levy owns some of this club. Obviously, you know this, Brian, and Enoch owns a majority of it. I mean, they're not going nowhere any soon, mate. And as you said, Brian, we've got to make some step. We've got to try something. And you're correct there, Brian. You'll rather try. I mean,
I'd rather try exactly.
Absolutely. So, what I say, Brian, is literally we got to hit them where it hurts in the pocket, Brian. I mean, that means stop going to games. Stop buying merchandise. Stop going to games, guys. They will see empty stadium, mate. They will absolutely, it will spring into their heads what's going on here. Seriously, if you go that, Brian, for 5 games, stop going it. No one in that stadium. Stop buying. Seriously, mate, they will wake up quick. They will wake up quick, Brian. And you know it for sure, mate. They'll wake up quick and they'll think, wow, they mean it now. They mean they're not just doing the talk and all that, and they still come to games. This is what I'm trying to say, Brian. People are talking, but they still go into games. They still buy merchandise. They need to fucking stop. If you're really behind what you're trying to do with change for Tottenham, Brian, they need to stop going to games. Stop buying merchandise.
Well, you know what it is, Simon? They paid for their tickets already, like season ticket holders. So you're going to go for your money. Well, like I said, there's people that take their kids or their nephews, their nieces, their whatever. Like, you can't stop them, but what you can stop them doing is spending money that they, your season ticket you bought already. That's it. That's done. And I don't want people to give up season tickets because, like I said, people have it for generations and generations and work hard all year round for their one love of Tottenham Hotspur. So I don't, and you've got to remember, you keep renewing that season ticket sooner or later, whether it's through the protest or because they decide to go in whatever year, they're going to go. And if you give up your season ticket, you're going to have to wait years to get it back. So that I completely understand. It's, like I said, a rite of passage, especially after COVID. But stop spending money in the shop. Stop spending money on burgers and on beers and anything. Go buy your programs outside. Go buy your scarves and everything from the market stalls that are outside. They're not going to him. They're going to families that try and support their family after coming out of this pandemic. And on that note, I'm going to have to go because I've got 15 minutes to go on Bob Spurs and have to do this all again, but reword it. But like I said, I promised you I was going to come on, so I was going to come on. Always a pleasure spending time with you, Matt, and you, Simon. As I said, everyone at 10:30, me and Bob Spur go live. It'll be a lot more in depth than this. And you can also find me on Tottenham on Tour, which is written just there. We're a YouTube channel that's growing. Me and Brian Ireland, who's currently in Toronto. So please come and follow us because I'll be pumping out so much stuff from the protest tomorrow. And yeah, I need to go because I need to have a cigarette. Because I think the next show I'm going to need to. But yeah, so guys, always a pleasure. We'll meet up and do a few more things before I go anyway. We'll get you on Tottenham on Tour, and I'll let you close out. But I'll leave with my famous 2 words: Levy out.
Yeah,
Top man,
absolutely Brian. Fantastic from Brian. Fantastic from Brian. Matt, that was great to have him on, in it, to have him saying
passion. You know that. We need more of that from.
Absolutely,
if we had a
Matt.
lot more of our fans like that, I think we'd be okay. But
yeah. So, guys, we're going to end it here, guys. Let's predictions, Matt. There was a couple more questions, but Brian has done some great things in there tonight, so I'm not going to go into that. Predictions tomorrow, Matt. Where are we going with this, Matt?
I think he's going to sign his own fate. I think he's going to play a 4-3-3, and I think we'll probably grab a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. I'm not confident, mate. Not at all.
Matt's not confident. He thinks he's going to play the 4-3-3. He thinks he's going to play. He thinks it'll be a 1-1 draw. Me tomorrow. I think he will change. He's already said there's personnel that he's going to drop. Let's see if that's true. The players that I've been told that he's going to drop, let's see if that's true. Harry Kane's one of them. I don't know. But that will show some balls to drop Harry Kane. You know what I mean? I think he'll change, Matt. I think he'll change up the formation. He may go back. He may go back to what he believes in, and 3 at the back. But tomorrow, Matt, I can't see there's no belief in this team at the minute, mate. Is there? There's no togetherness.
Nope.
We're relying on 1 or 2 players to dig us out of this shit all the time. So to me, tomorrow, I can't see nothing but a Villa win. I really can't. I said it last week against Arsenal. I said I can't see us getting nothing there. That was correct. I'm not just saying. I don't want to come on and say I told you so. I mean, I love them to come between. But great, this is what I see, Matt. I mean, if you can't beat a Slovenia side 5th in their league with a team we had out, and we had to bring on the big guns, that is alarm bells. Alarm bells, guys. Wake up. I mean, so tomorrow, I think Nuno will change. I think Nuno will mix it up. I just don't think the players are with him, mate. I really don't. I think there is players out there who don't want him at the club, Matt. I don't think they're playing for him.
I think they have down tools already.
I think they're rotted. It's rotted at the core already, Matt. It really is. The reports coming out, mate. It really is. It's the relationship has declined.
Well, apparently he's
with the players.
miserable, isn't he? And like very
Yeah.
distant in training. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Villa. I know it sounds silly acting back against your team. I'll try and back Tottenham all the way to win a game.
Yeah.
Seriously, but
I think we
this
both normally
is
would,
what
but I think we've both
this
just
this
been absolutely just had enough, really. To be honest,
yeah,
man, I'm sort of
absolutely, mate,
I'm flat from
absolutely.
it all at the moment. I'm watching other teams, play brilliant football and they're putting their hearts on the line. I've watched Everton go to United, they get a draw. I've watched Southampton nearly get a result at Chelsea, or at least put a fight in. We look miles off it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we go out, guys, Sandy says honestly, just a triangle of Højbjerg, Skip, and defensive midfielders, and the Celso as an attacking defensive midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 will solve the issues.
We'll see.
Sandy, thanks for your comment. He says 2-0 Villa. Unfortunately, he says, and even Derek can't see anything but a Villa win tomorrow. Is this, Matt, quickly before we go out? That's how far we've literally gone back in it. We're not in predicting a Tottenham win against Aston Villa at home, Matt. Where over the years, Matt, we've got a very good record against Villa, isn't it? At home.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think most of the
and we're
time
not
I'd back us to win against them. But
absolutely, mate. And that's the worrying times, mate. And so yes, guys. So it's been a fantastic show. Having Brian on, having me and Max have a right good rant, have a right good say. The chat's been really, really good. We've had over 25 to 30 people in there. And we are going to head out, guys. And just one last one, guys. What Brian was on about, that is tomorrow, guys, at 11 o'clock, guys, at the club shop or around the club shop, near the club shop. This is our club, not your brand. The protest tomorrow, guys. So if you are in that area, guys, and you are close to the stadium, go and show your support. If this is what you'll leave it out, just go and show your support, guys. And quickly, Jake says Liverpool City prediction before you go. Matt, Liverpool City.
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Wow. Do you know what? Because it's at Anfield, Matt. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna echo with you there, mate. I'm gonna go with the same. I'm gonna say
I
one.
just don't think City.
2-1.
I just saw him the other night against PS. Like no striker. Don't have anyone in. I think Van Dijk and whoever will have an all right task. I think Salah could cause City problems, to be honest.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
But
so
they will miss
Jake.
Trent. That is a big miss for Liverpool. They'll miss
Absolutely,
Alexander-Arnold, but
Trent is a top player.
Yeah.
And City, I'm getting Chelsea. I've been Chelsea to beat City last week. They went to Chelsea. They grinded the result out, Matt. And that's what City can do. And this is the thing, Matt, isn't it? This is what City can do. They can turn up at Liverpool tomorrow and get one of them results. You know what I mean? But the way Liverpool are playing at the minute, I can't see nothing but a Liverpool win. And Sandy says it's actually the first time I've ever predicted a loss for us going into a match day. Absolutely. Derek says 3-3 for the Liverpool thing. So, guys, thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic support for the channel, guys. Me and Matt will be back tomorrow for the reaction. Matt, are you available tomorrow, mate, for the reaction?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I don't know what time. I'll get Matt. Ask Matt to see what time he's available. So there will be a reaction fans calling show, guys, tomorrow after the game in the evening. So, guys, come and have your say, because this could be Nuno's last game. I mean, we could be talking about another manager here. So, guys, from Premier Hotspur TV, guys, I've been Simon, guys. This has been the co-host, Matt. As always, fantastic. Always bringing his fantastic comments, his opinions, his facts, his stats on here. Fantastic. One more last comment. Big up, guys, from Derek. Derek, thanks for your support.
Cheers,
absolutely fantastic. And so goes to everyone in the chat, always in the channel and in the chat. Thanks you very much. So we'll leave you with this, guys. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless. Tomorrow, fans calling, guys. Reaction could be a big one. Could be a big one. And come on, you Spurs. Leave Levy out. Enoch out, guys.
Enoch out.
Come on. Good night. God bless, guys.
Night, guys.
Come on, you Spurs.